Hello everyone, my name is Josh, and today we're going to talk about Magic Online format challenges, throwback standard gauntlets, and other Magic Online announcements. This is the Untitled Blogcast for legitmtg.com, and joining me today is Sir Andrew Nelms. Andrew, how are you doing?
I'm doing just great. How about you?
I played a lot of Commander.
It's always fun.
It is indeed. And I'm currently discussing with people on Twitter about the price structure of Magic the Gathering Online. Um, Lots of opinions going on there, but people that think Magic the Gathering Online should be free, they boggle my brain. Anyways, Andy, we're going to be talking about a wide variety of things this week. I missed you, bud.
It's been a while.
It has been indeed. Um, I hear you've been hanging out with Nate and the rest of the crew at Legit every so often.
It has been happening once or twice in the last couple weeks. There's been a lot going on down there, and it's been a good experience helping them remodel their store.
Ah, yes, the remodel. Outstanding. I'm glad to hear that it's getting remodeled. I'll probably never see it, but it is what it is. So, let's go ahead and talk about these format challenges. On the 10th, Lee Sharp wrote an article that went live that basically expanded the organized play program on Magic the Gathering Online. Typically, the OP programs that we have online right now are 2-player queues, 8-player queues, and leagues. There are format challenges and MOCSs and PTQs and such as well. They're just peppered into the schedule. Nothing really. I mean, yeah, you know that the legacy challenges are this certain Saturday of every month, and that the vintage challenges are this certain day of this month. But the other formats, stuff like Modern and Pauper, have gotten ignored, while Standard gets the PTQs or Sealed gets the PTQs. But now, Andy, what's happening?
It looks like they are making a couple different queues for constructed formats. I see that they're making Modern Challenge, Vintage Challenge, 1v1 Commander. I haven't seen Commander on MTGO in months and months, where they've pushed it to be a big thing again.
Well, to be fair, they just started the 1v1 Commander Leagues yesterday.
Yeah, I'm glad they brought them back. I really am.
Well, this isn't something they brought back. This is something that is new to the clients. Like, Commander on MTGO has been multiplayer based, but they're kind of taking the cues from French Commander in regards to this particular Commander. So, anyways, we're getting legacy challenges and we're getting pauper challenges. How often are we getting these challenges?
Every weekend.
Every weekend. Are they out of their minds?
I don't think so.
Well, dang. That's probably for the best.
It almost. I was gonna chip in and say it almost feels like it's a pre-release kind of feel for constructed.
I wouldn't go that far.
Or it almost. I guess if I reword it the way I should have said it the first time, it almost seems like way back when in V3, when they had like just daily events and then they had premier events.
Premier events, yes.
I'm getting a feel of premier events off of this.
As am I, friend. As am I. And I think that's great because I believe before the league changes that there was still demand for premier events and that people would still have played in them, but they were just all taken away. And these challenges really give fans of non-rotating formats a chance to be able to play their favorite decks and play something that's getting highlighted more than standard. Like, the top 32 decks of each of these challenges are going to get published. So there's going to be a ton of data.
That is, I like that idea too.
I mean, like, today they started publishing the 1-1 commander list. And I was surprised because you typically don't see that from friendly leagues.
Mm-hmm.
But getting those lists and seeing I think 9 of the 10 lists were different commanders. I'm sorry, 8 of the 10 lists. Because 2 of them were Leovolds.
Yeah.
Or maybe that is 9 of 10. I don't know. Whatever. I'm bad at math. Anyways, we've got these format challenges. They are pretty fairly priced. There's 2 entry options. One is 25 event tickets and the other is 250 play points. They fire at 8 players. They are Swiss rounds based on the attendance, and then there's a cut to top 8. And let's talk about these prizes. We go 17 to 32nd, you get 250 play points. Alright, cool, you get your entry fee back. Sweet. 9 through 16, you get 300 play points and 10 treasure chests. 10 treasure chests, whatever. Treasure chests are worthless, they're garbage, I hate them. I think they're the worst thing about Magic the Gathering Online right now, because they're done so poorly. Like, if you're playing and your prizes are garbage commons, why bother playing? Like, I have started to play less because I'm opening up standard commons in these treasure chests and a bulk rare. And it's just like, why? Why am I not excited to be playing? So anyways, like, treasure chests are negligible. I think you can get like 2 tickets apiece for them now. They've dropped a ton. 5th through 8, you're getting 400 play points and 25 chests and 3 QPs. 3rd through 4th, you're getting 450 chests and 4 QPs. 2nd place, you're getting 500 play points, 75 treasure chests, and 5 QPs. Andy, hit us with what the winner's gonna get.
500 play points, 100 treasure chests,
100.
and 100.
That is a lot of treasure chests. What else do they get?
1 non-foil set of the most recent standard legal set and 6 qualifier points.
I like the standard legal set. It doesn't make a lot of sense for the vintage and legacy formats, but whatever. That's just something they could trade in for cash. The 100 treasure chests, like, you win this, you get to basically create your own content. Like, you could film yourself opening up 100 treasure chests, and people will watch that.
Mm-hmm.
I will not, because that is a long time. But I would definitely film one. So that is, I guess, pretty decent prizes for what you're paying. Getting your entry fee back for the bottom half of this stuff is fine. These start on the 20th of May. So not this coming Saturday, not tomorrow Saturday, but the week after Saturday. So let's go ahead and go by these formats. Andy, it's 11 a.m. Saturday morning. You're playing Modern. What deck are you playing? For
Modern, I personally, right now, I like Storm, or I like the new, well, I guess the updated version of the Cord decks, where they're now running Vizier and Kitchen Finks and all that combo-y gain life for do something infinite decks.
Fair. I would be playing Living Ends because that's all I've got. And let's say Saturday at 1 p.m. We're both doing well in the Modern Challenge, but we're not going to drop for the Vintage Challenge.
Oof.
We do get to 3 p.m. and it's Commander time. We've kind of stumbled a little bit in Modern, but we're gonna get our entry fee back, which is cool. So we're gonna play 1v1 Commander. Who's your commander?
Oof. I like Leovold. I just like the playability of Leovold, but if I don't have access to that, I'm probably playing Sheldred or trying to think what else I like Dragonlord Salamgar, like blue black control or just mono black control.
I guess those are fine. Leovold. You plebe.
He's so good. Like that's just the problem with the card. He's so good for what he does.
I was in a league yesterday and someone went Leovold on turn 1. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. I'm definitely not winning this game. And I didn't. I did not win that game.
It's pretty impressive.
It didn't help matters that I F6 through my 3rd turn, but I definitely did not win that game. Alright, so we got our entry fee back from Modern, our entry fee back from Commander. We're basically just treading. It's now Sunday at 11, and it's time for Legacy. Andy, what are you playing?
Probably Eldrazi aggro or Death and Taxes.
You are the worst.
Yeah, I like those really off-putting decks. Like Death and Taxes is just something I enjoy playing.
I would play Storm in Modern, but I wouldn't play Storm in Legacy. Man, you got to Storm in Legacy. You got to do it, bro.
I like this combo deck that did really well in the Legacy event recently.
What did you play in your last Legacy event?
Huh?
What did you play in your last Legacy event?
I played Death and Taxes at the Grand Prix.
That's right. That's what you did.
And I ended up crashing and burning to through one mirror match, and then I lost to Grixis Delver 3 times in a row. That matchup is just almost impossible to win.
Okay, so we both scrub out of the Legacy Challenge. We're both just terrible because I played Charbelcher. And I'm going to play a deck that folds to Force of Will. Alright, so now we're playing Popper. Trying to lick our wounds. Andy? What you playing, son?
In Pauper, probably mono blue.
Fine.
Or slivers.
Or slivers? Get out of here with that.
Aww.
Mono blue is fine. That's the only acceptable answer outside of Is It Blitz? Which is, I guess, a line of questioning. What are you playing in Pauper? Question mark. Is it Blitz? Question mark. I don't know. Is it? Question mark. Yeah, it is. Anyways, we have both pretty much said we're terrible at Magic and would do very poorly in these challenges that start next Saturday. But what we may not be terrible at is decks that are randomly assigned to us. Andy, we're going to talk about the Throwback Gauntlet. God, don't sound so excited.
I like it. I was just looking over what format it's going to be, like what block it's going to be, and I see that it's going to be Urza's block.
Yeah, it's Tempest, Urza, Mass Block is pretty much what these standard decks are taken from. And, man, we've got some good ones here. I'm really disappointed that we don't see Angry Hermits or Trinity Green, because those were my favorite decks from the time. But we've got Wildfire, we've got Replenish, we've got Academy, we've got Jar, we've got Tinker, we've got some of the most broken combo decks in the history of Magic the Gathering, and then we've got Wild Dogs. Oh, I choked myself on that.
Don't hurt yourself.
We've also got LD Red, which I thought was called Sped Red yesterday, but I guess got a new name. We've got Napster. We've got Bargain, again another broken combo deck, and it is Renowned Bargain, so it's one of the incredible ones. And we've got Accelerated Blue. So we've got We've got 10 decks, which in reality we've got 9 because we've got 10 decks and then one with Wild Dogs in it. Randy's actually catching some flack about this on his Facebook page because Randy Bueller's the one that collates these gauntlet lists.
Yeah.
They're making fun of him for picking Stompy. When it could have been Trinity or Angry Hermit or The Rock and His Millions or literally anything that didn't have Wild Dogs in it. I mean, look at that thing. Wild Dogs. It's a 2/1 for a green, and if any player has more life than another during your upkeep, that player gains control of Wild Dogs. So if your opponent gains a life, they take your dogs. They reach across the room and take your dogs. Which I guess is slightly better than drinking your milkshake. Anyways,
yeah. If you like your dog.
These are the standard gauntlet decks. We've got Jar and Academy, which were like standard decks for like a couple of Friday Night Magics. Like they were in and out of the format very quickly due to bannings. Like I think Jar, I think Jar and Academy both won Grand Prix, or one of them won a Pro Tour and the other one won a Grand Prix. And yeah, they were very quickly out of standard because they were just straight busted. And they were actually before my time in Tournament Magic, which is weird to say because like I missed most of Combo Winner. So when I think of Combo Winner, I think of bargain decks. And not what Combo Winner actually was, which was Broken Ass Academy. And you were like, what, 3?
I was very young. I was not even remotely aware of what Magic was.
This was 1999, 2000, 2001. How old were you then?
I was 10.
You were 10. Okay, so you weren't 3.
No.
Which is good. Because if you were 3...
I think at that time I was just learning, like, I had Magic cards, but I never played. Like, I was like, all these cards look cool, but I don't know how to play.
Was that when you were starting to believe in the heart of the cards?
No.
What was on that yellow jacket you used to wear?
Pac Andy, that big giant Pac-Man?
Yeah, that jacket was neat.
Yeah, I got burned.
That's unfortunate.
Not my doing, but I would have kept that jacket. I laughed so hard about that.
Alright, so out of these combo winner decks, which deck would you want to get the most whenever you signed up for one of these queues?
I want the mono blue Academy deck with Mind Over Matter and Academy and Stroke.
Yes, I mean, yeah, I too like to win games of Magic the Gathering. I mean, that's the deck I would want. But let's say Jar and Academy didn't exist on these lists. Which one of these remaining 8 would you want?
I would probably want the Tinker list or the Replenish list.
See, I was thinking Replenish, Bargain, or Wildfire. Because, well, I just like casting Wildfire. But, like, even the Wildfire list is just so tame in regards to the other combo decks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Wildfire's like, oh, I'm going to try to ramp into Temporal Arbiter. And Replenish is like, I'm going to discard my hand and then bring my entire graveyard to play and then attack you with a bunch of deeds. And Bargain's like, I'm going to draw my deck and you're going to die. Off of, what did Bargain kill with back in the day?
Oh.
Soul Feast? It was multiple Soul Feast, I believe.
Yeah, Soul Feast.
How was it? Oh yeah, Yawgmoth's Will was Soul Feast. Dirt, dirt, dirt! Because Yawgmoth's Will was a very fair Magic the Gathering card.
No, that wasn't. It's so good.
This gauntlet would have been perfect without the Jar in the Academy decks. But it's also, I mean, it's a really neat thing for people to be able to see how dumb this game used to be. Like, a lot of people complain about counter magic not being what it is and creatures being terrible. Well, guess what? Creatures were actually terrible back then, unless they were blue and cost 5. And spells were actually the nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, like, Morphling would probably see play today, but Masticore, I don't think Masticore would see a ton of play.
No.
Like, Phyrexian Negator would not get played.
Oh, no. No way.
Skittering Horror would not get played. Mog Fanatic, just because Mog Fanatic sucks now, would not get played.
Yeah.
Line of War Elves would get played, but it would not be in Stompy.
Oh, no.
Fucking Pouncing Jaguar. We've got a 2/2 for 1 that has Echo. Like, that was a good creature. Albino Troll. We got a 3/3 for 2 that has Echo. So it's actually a 3/3 for 4. You just get to pay it separate times.
Mm-hmm.
But creatures were in Metalworker, Masticore, and Phyrexian Colossus. Like,
yeah.
You couldn't print Metalworker.
The creatures. No.
And then there were no creatures in Academy, and none Replenish. Because, of course, you had Opalescence.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, that is the Throwback Standard Gauntlet. We've touched on format challenges. We've touched on 1v1 Commander. We've touched on just a couple of quick things coming up. Redemption for Kaladesh and Aether Revolt ends on June 7th. The Standard Gauntlet starts on May 17th, which is next Wednesday. Team Draft Super League starts on May 16th, which is next Tuesday. That's just the thing I don't care about. I'm sure other people love Team Draft, but whatever. I don't. What do you think about Team Draft, Andy?
It's interesting. I don't know if I'll enjoy it or if it was something that you could like individuals like you and I could do on the program, it would be great.
And hopefully,
but I don't.
Hopefully, Team Draft be a thing that can happen on the program again. I believe it used to happen, but was taken away long ago. Team drafting, if you're doing it, I think it's great. Team drafting, if you're watching it, I just don't care. Alright, so you've got links to all the pertinent information that we have talked about today. They will be in the show notes underneath the video on the site and underneath the video on YouTube. I don't know why I'm physically pointing down, but I am. Like, you just have to imagine me shirtless pointing down like I'm directing you to the comment section. Anyways, so before we go, Andy, Pro Tour Amonkhet this weekend. What do you think's going to happen?
I feel like it's a mixed bag. Vehicles is still running a pretty good, like a decent chunk of the format. Probably, my opinion, I think it's about 30 to 35% of the format right now. It's not overwhelming, but it's not. It's not like waiting in. It's not under the radar. Like, people know the deck exists, and there's always new build. Like, people are always updating this deck and finding better ways to make it more playable. I think it's the most played tournament deck. Period.
Okay, so you think Vehicles is the most played tournament deck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, I can see that. All right, so
now I see that now I can see other archetypes are coming to the picture along with Vehicles that people haven't really thought of coming out with until now. I spoke to a good friend of ours. We talked about a deck idea yesterday, and it was mono black zombies.
Yeah, mono black zombies has been on the upswing on MTGO. It is seeing a lot more play than I thought it would. I think there's going to be a lot of Aether's Marvel because Cat kept Marvel in check. I don't think there's going to be nearly as much Vehicles as other people think they are. Like, I think the decks that are going to be played or make up the most of the metagame are going to be Aetherworks Marvel-based strategy, then blue-red control. Those I think are going to be those are going to be the two big decks. And then the aggro strategies, probably zombies, then Vehicles, then red-green in that order.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone's going to try to make new perspectives work. I streamed with it a couple days ago. I thought the deck was garbage, but MTG Goldfish did a stream with it and went 5-0, and it's been 5-0ing some leagues. So I either played it wrong or just got paired against the worst matchups. Like, I got, I think, 3 blue control matchups and just could not beat it. So, what do you think is going to win the Pro Tour?
I'm going to say something with Aetherworks Marvel or Torrential Gearhulk.
Ah, you really went out on a limb there.
I did.
Bold. Bold, sir. That's basically like saying, I'm going to name 2 of the best players of what I think is going to be some of the most played decks and just swing for the fences. Bold. I think we will see Aetherworks Marvel win the Pro Tour, and it will be in the hands of someone that's not on one of the super teams, and it will be a lot of fun viewing the Pro Tour, except that I'm not going to watch it because I'm going to be playing Marvel Omega with Cassius here this weekend. And we're going to have so much fun. He's going to be Iron Man and I'm going to be Squirrel Girl. Because I'm here to eat nuts and kick butts.
Oh, wow.
What? You can't oh wow while we're in the middle of recording.
I was looking at building the new perspective decks or new perspectives deck in MTGO, and I'm just pricing it out, and I just saw that Sphinx of the Final Word was like $11.
Yes, the worst.
Yep.
All right, Andy. You're going to Vegas soon for a month, right?
Yep, I'm going for 2 months.
You're going for 2 months.
2 months.
Well, guess who thinks you're coming home in a month?
You.
Haha, 2 thumbs pointed this way. Anyways, Mr. Nelms, let's try to record again before the pro or after the Pro Tour.
Sure.
That way we could have a small comeback before a larger hiatus again.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, let's go ahead and end for today. Thank everyone for listening. And we will see you next week here on legitmtg.com. For Andrew Nelms, I'm Joshua Clare. There's a thunderstorm warning in my area, so I'm out.